So just a little reminder that wherever you are is good. Whatever contrast you're going through is here to serve you. Everything is happening for you, not to you. Oh, bad news. That one is the one that's like, fucking alien following up until that you pull that bullshit. Oh, but that's the concept that's like worth noodling around a little bit, right? Everything, let's like break it down. There's two scenarios, right? There's one scenario where everything is happening to us, and then there's another scenario where everything is happening for us. So it's definitely worth like doing whatever it takes to get full buy-in from ourselves. So we can like nod our head in agreement that everything is happening for us. So let's see if we can do some brainwashing. Let's see if we can, how far we can get ourselves into really embracing this whole idea that everything is happening for us, even all the shitty stuff. So the context of if something is happening to us, it basically means law of attraction doesn't exist. It basically means the very premise of why we are all here and that we have all drank the Kool-Aid. If we feel like things are happening to us, we basically are negating everything that brought us together, because the only way something could happen to us is if the world is existing and it is existing stronger than who we are. If things are happening to us, it means that we have no say in anything. If things are happening to us, it means we don't have an energy field. It means we don't really exist. If things are happening to us, we're just these dumb little minions sitting around, right? And things are happening around us and they're coming to us. If it's something that's coming to us, it's basically saying my energy doesn't matter. My energy doesn't matter. If something is happening to us, we're basically releasing all power that we have. If we think that something shitty is happening to us without any potential benefit, right? And so if something is happening to us, the bill comes in, the person does something to us, the business is hard. If these are all just straight up, I'm drinking sparkling water again. So I've got to do little mini burps. If things are happening to us, if they're happening to us, that means that we're just, anything bad means we're unlucky. It means that we are just got the shit end of the stick and now we have to deal with it things. But the Kool-Aid that we drank, I'm pretty sure we all drank, is that law of attraction exists. It's something like gravity, where we're just living in a space where like energies attract like energies, where whatever the sum average of my energy is my signal, and I am bringing back more reasons to support and more reasons to prove that my life is very much like it is. If we have drank the law of attraction Kool-Aid, we then realize that energy can work for us and we can focus our energy, that we are powerful focusers of our mind. We are powerful focusers of our mind, and that there's this natural progression that happens with expansion. And expansion is essentially morphing our energies, right? We've had a certain energy for a while, so we've been attracting more things that support that energy. But the universe wants us to expand. We're all expanding. And so we have to then realize and ask ourselves again and again and again, do I follow this line of logic of how expansion works every single time? which is something crappy happens. There's some sort of condition. We all start off with realizing we don't like something. When Abraham is using the word contrast, right? We use the word contrast to talk about the shitty stuff. Contrast is the space between wanted and unwanted. It's the contrast. So if you were in a place and you were kind of fine and you wanted something that would be kind of nice, the contrast between having it and not having it isn't that big. Like for instance, if you usually spend $10 on a sandwich, and then the next time you go, you add avocado for $2 and it's a $12 sandwich. It's marginally better, but it's a little bit better, but the contrast is really small because the difference between with and without avocado, I mean, some people may argue that's a big difference. I might argue it's a big difference, but let's just say in the scheme of the world, the difference between your sandwich having avocado and not having avocado, there's not a whole lot difference, right? So you're going to get a little bit more pleasure from the avocado. And let's say you always get the $12 sandwich. Let's say you always get the avocado and then you forget to add the avocado, right? So you're like, damn, like the sandwich isn't as good. The contrast is just, damn it, I forgot it. So the contrast, the crappy thing is just this slightness of a feeling of, oh man, it's not quite how we want it. Now, if we can, that contrast births a desire, which is, I love avocado. I want avocado. I want to always remember to add avocado to the sandwich. So you have this tiny bit of contrast, which then maybe helps you manifest remembering to order avocado. But who really cares? We're not talking about anything big, right? We're talking about avocado, no avocado. But when we have small amount of contrast, the opportunity for expansion is small. So not having avocado doesn't help you give birth to a desire to eat filet mignon for lunch. It didn't annoy you enough. It didn't annoy you enough to want something big enough. And so we are here to expand. If you want to like get by, I remember I was at a live Eckhart Tolle thing like 10 years ago, and somebody asked him, what's the point of life? And it's Eckhart, right? You're not thinking of Eckhart. I don't know if you guys listen to Eckhart Tolle or not, but you're not really expecting Eckhart to talk about expansion or manifestation, right? You're thinking somebody asked Eckhart, what's the point of life? You think Eckhart's going to say something like to listen to the birds and enjoy the silence of doing nothing, right? That's what you think Eckhart's going to say. But what Eckhart actually said is he took a minute, pause, and he says, the point of life is to expand. And we know that because when we look at nature, undisturbed nature, the expansion is inevitable and massive. And so if you want to get buy-in on what the point of all of this is, the point of it all is to expand. And we can double check that by just looking at the world and nature. So even Eckhart is like, we're here to expand. But our expansion is directly proportional to the fucking contrast. Right? And so if we are experiencing something in our life that feels big, that feels hard, you can know for sure you're manifesting filet mignon, not avocado. So now we can do, is that good news, Tim? Tim's like, thank God. All of us are like, thank God, right? All of us are like, we're powerful manifestors. Do you guys know some people who don't really care too much? You know some people who don't really care too much? And they kind of seem happy because they've been having the same Friday night pizza for 20 years. They've been living in the same house for 20 years. They've been basically working the same jobs for 20 years. And they're basically just fine. They're basically just fine. I know some of those people. They're happy. You know, they're happy too. Are they like exhilarated? No, but are they happy? Yeah. Are they riding the full potential of life? Not really. You fuckers, us fuckers, me included. We're here to fucking ride this shit. We're here to fucking ride this shit. Which means we needed the contrast to piss us the fuck off. We needed the contrast to bother us. We needed the contrast to launch massive rockets of desire. So then we say, okay, now I want to manifest all this stuff, but then we're in this habit because this is this human thing that we do, is that we still look at the contrast and get pissed off at it and think it's happening to us. So there's an opportunity today, right now, because we're talking about it, to rewrite our story about the contrast, rewrite our story about the hard thing in your life right now. If you have a hard thing, depending on where you are in your journey, you might just be kind of on the up and up. So I don't want to project hard things on everybody, but we can start to love and appreciate the contrast, the shitty things, the difficult things a little bit more, even without having to understand the whole thing, but just being able to look at these situations in our life and be like, something's brewing, something big's brewing, something's big brewing. Okay, I see it. I don't want to stay here. So what does this make me want to do? And then we can say, well, what's the opposite of the contrast? If you want to really know what you want for sure, you just take the opposite of the thing you fucking hate. If you feel totally lost and uncertain, the opposite is clarity. We need to practice clarity. If you have felt discouraged, the opposite is something like awe or feeling proud or feeling on fucking point. We have to practice those vibrations. So we have to move up this process that Abraham, it's something like, the contrast happens. We create our desire. We then need to release resistance and allow it to happen and allow the contrast to then happen. The whole process start all over again. And then you zero into this step 3, which says something like, get out of the way, allow it to happen. And then it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to do that? And we do that with everything we're learning in flow, looking at what thoughts are in our mind, reaching for the next best possible thought, and then practicing a vibration, which is the opposite of what we have, future casting. So this combination of being aware of thoughts that are energetically not helpful, reaching for the next possible one, relaxing, breathing, playing around with the energy of what something would feel like. This is releasing resistance. This is separating ourselves from the energy that attracted us, the thing that we didn't like that caused us to want to expand. So today is just a little reminder for us to, even if we don't understand how, even if it makes no sense, even if the path is not clear, because rarely it is. Everything's clear like 2 years later. Rarely anything is clear until 2 years later. Just to re-embrace this idea that whatever is happening in our life right now is happening for us. This is happening for me, for me, for me. And then if you want, you can lean into the curiosity of, I wonder what this is. I wonder what can come from this. I wonder how good it can get. That's a really amazing question. How good can it get? How good can something get? There's some Einstein quote that was something like that. The Einstein quote was something like, the most powerful question you could ask is this universe a friendly one? And Einstein, this fucker knew energy. Okay. So he wasn't suggesting that we should all ask, is this universe a friendly one? So we can really figure out whether it's friendly or not. He understood that the energy of your question dictated the energy of your answer. So he know that asking the question, is this universe a friendly one, would bring us back answers showing us how it's friendly. How it is friendly. Einstein. I just checked out that Laura just put a photo of Einstein in the chat. It's funny. So everything is, did you guys write this fucking shit down? Everything is happening for me. You wrote that shit down? That's a neural pathway that we need to widen, and that's not going to widen by accident. That shit's not going to widen on its own. We have to program this in us. Life is happening for me, for me, for me. This is happening for me. I don't know how. I don't know why. I have no clarity right now. This is happening for me. By the way, I don't have clarity. I'd like clarity. Oh, I wonder what clarity would feel like. There are things I'm clear about. I'm clear about sunny days, and I'm clear about loving my pets and my kids. I'm clear about loving to breathe fresh air. There's some things I'm clear about. In fact, I'd like more clarity. Ah, everything's happening for me. I'd love clarity is something that would be really nice. I'd love some clarity. I wonder what a good next move would be. I wonder what a good idea would be. I wonder what the best way to spend today would be. I wonder what the best way to spend tomorrow would be. I wonder how my inner being would spend today or tomorrow if I didn't get in the way. If I didn't get in the way, what would my inner being be doing? And sometimes that is blowing off work and taking walks in the forest if that's what's best for us. But sometimes it's hunkering down and busting out a fun project. It's different for all of us at any given moment. What would light us up the most? What would be fun the most? What does our body and our cells and our energy need the most? But leaning into life is happening for me, for me, for me. And so now if I can be curious on how this could possibly be something for me, then I'm going to feel better. I'm going to think better. I'm going to have received different sets of ideas, and the decisions and priorities I make on a different day are already going to start changing.